Hey, good morning there, friend. Whenever this is, good afternoon, good day. Hope everything's going well for you. I was thinking about that passage in Galatians, thought I might share it with somebody. Maybe it'll help you. I think it's Galatians 5:7, where it says, "You did run well. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth?" I got to thinking about that in the sense that, the Christian life is compared to a race. Paul said we run the race. I think Paul wrote Hebrews, but anyway, says look at it, running the race. Lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. So the Christian life is a race. You're on the track for the Lord. You're serving the Lord. You're looking to Him. You're following Him. You got your course, and you're keeping your eyes on the prize. But if you're not careful, somebody's going to come along and distract you. I don't know what it'll be. It could be different things for different folks, but you got to be careful that you don't get distracted by the world. It's like Peter when he stepped out of the boat, during the storm, and he had his eyes on the Lord, and he's walking on the water. But when he took his eyes off the Lord and looked around and saw the waves boisterous and the storm, and he began to doubt and he sank. So he changed his focus. And so this thing of separation is something that's very important. You need to be careful who you run with. You need to be careful who you hang around with. You need to be careful who you give credence to and spend time with. Okay, here we are. We're running the race for the Lord. We're in the race for the Lord. We're running with patience, and somebody comes along to distract us. Now, let's look at Psalm chapter 1. Psalm chapter 1, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful." Now, here you were running for the Lord, you were going great guns, you're doing great, and all of a sudden somebody comes along and somebody begins to cast doubt on serving the Lord. Somebody comes along, and it's kind of like the devil in Genesis 3 where it says, "Yea, hath God said." You begin to think, well, I'm serving the Lord, but is this the best? Is this what's going to make me happy? Somebody comes along and says, "You can be happy over here. You can be happy if you try this over here." And so, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. They can't make you stop, but they can make you stop yourself. And so here you are, you begin to listen to the counsel of the ungodly, and instead of running, now you're walking. And you've slowed down for the Lord. You're still going forward. I'm still going to church and I'm still doing this, but you've slowed down. You've lost your fire. You've lost your drive. You've lost your passion, and so you've kind of slowed down. And blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners. He was running, then he was walking. Now he stopped. Now he's standing. You got to be careful. You got to be careful that you stay on fire for the Lord, stay close to the Lord. Here you are, you're running. Oh yeah, everything's going great, but somebody hinders you, and now you're walking in the counsel of the ungodly, or you're standing in the way of sinners, or sitteth in the seat of the scornful. He sat down. And there's a lot of folks that have sat down on the Lord nowadays. They did run well. They were going great. They were doing great things for the Lord, but they kind of slowed down, and before long they stop. And not only do they stop going forward, but they begin to make fun of the folks that are going forward, and they begin to scorn the things of the Lord. And it's a slippery slope. That's why they call it backsliding. And so I just challenge you, I urge you, be careful. Be careful who you hang around with. Be careful to stay faithful to the Lord. Stay close to the Lord. Draw nigh to God. He'll draw nigh to you. And be careful about getting distracted about the things of the Lord. He'll bless you if you'll just stay faithful. God bless you, neighbor. Have a good day.